The views and opinions expressed in the following program do not reflect the views and opinions of Weed Digital Productions or its advertisers.
Good day. Welcome to VTV program Faith Matters. Today I'm joined by Imam Farhan Iqbal and Imam Hanan Sobi. We are going to talk about the status of women in Islam. It has been portrayed in the media that women in Islam are oppressed and considered as a second-class citizen. Imam Sobi, will you please elaborate on that?
There is this misconception that women in Islam are considered second-class citizens or they're not given equal rights to that of men. But this could not be further from the truth. In fact, women are given equal rights to men according to their gender roles. And the status that has been bestowed upon women, they are our mothers, they are our daughters, they are our wives. And the Prophet of Islam, peace be upon him, the Prophet Muhammad, he has given and shown the Muslims so much to give so much status to the women in Islam. For example, he said that paradise lies under the feet of the mothers, and this is a way of honoring them, that you must honor your mothers. Secondly, when it came to in regards to the wives, he said that the best among you is those who are the best in the treatment of their wives. So he's teaching that Muslims are taught that kind treatment of your wives. And then he said that if a man were to have daughters and he raises them properly, that in itself would become a means of his entry into the paradise. And then also in terms of acquiring knowledge, the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, he stated that it is the duty of every Muslim man as well as the duty of every Muslim woman that they must acquire knowledge. So these are the ways in which Islam has given a very high status to women.
So, Imam Farhan, I understand Islam gives lots of rights to women. Can you elaborate on that, please?
Yeah, so my colleague has just mentioned their high status in Islam, and the fact is that Islam has also given women a lot of rights. If you look at the history of Islam, at the time when Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, came in Arabia, women had no rights. They had no right to divorce. They were looked upon as property, and they had no right to inherit anything, and they had no right to divorce, for instance. So the women were absolutely second-class citizens, discriminated against, and they were oppressed in that society. But when Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, came, he changed all of that. He granted them the right to divorce, for instance. I mean, once a lady came to him and said that, please grant me permission to divorce my husband. And Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, asked her, why does she want to divorce him? And she said, well, he's a great person. He is very pious, but I have not been able to like him. And Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said, okay. So just on the basis of her not being able to fall in love with her husband or not being able to love him, he allowed her to divorce her husband. And this is something that has not even happened in the West, for instance, for many centuries until recent times. And so it's remarkable, it's fantastic to know that 1400 years ago, Islam gave women the kind of rights that were not granted to them anywhere else in the world up until recently.
Thank you. Imam Sobi, there is a concept of veil and hijab in Islam. Why it is important for practicing Muslim women to practice hijab and...
So in a nutshell, Islam teaches modesty, and it teaches against shamelessness. And with the hijab, with the veil, it actually empowers women. And I can give you a wonderful example. A number of years ago, there was a viral video on YouTube, and it depicted a lady. She walked through the streets of New York City for a number of hours. First, she was wearing, just regular Western-styled clothing. and the catcalls, the harassment continuously, people approaching her. And it really opened up my eyes personally to some things that women face on a daily basis. But following that, she walked the same streets of New York again, but this time covering herself, having a head cover as well as a looser outer garment, and not a single catcall, no form of harassment or anything like that. So this is a way of protection against women, and it enables them to move freely about in the society without having any kind of harassment. And similarly, if you look at the virtuous, the pious women of all religions, they're depicted with, for example, Mary, the mother of Jesus. You will always see her with a head covering. You will see her with a looser outer garment. So this is what the women in Islam are taught in regards to the hijab, that it promotes immodesty.
Thank you, Imam Sobi. Imam Farhan, in Ahmadiyya Muslim community, how women play a role in the active events?
Well, in our community, we have an organization of women only. It's called Lajna Imaila, the Ahmadiyya Muslim Women's Association. And it is run by women. It is the executive board is made up of women only. And they take care of all their needs, all their programs, all their events. They do their bazaars, or they will do their annual event, which is meant for spiritual and educational and other sorts of training, and also for sports activities. They will do their other gatherings, general meetings. They do all kinds of activities, a lot of fun activities that, they're totally in charge of what they want to do. And they even have a couple of institutions that are running. So one is an institution for younger girls to study the Quran. And there's another institution called Aisha Academy, where women get a degree in religious knowledge, and not just religious as far as Islam is concerned, but also comparative religions, knowledge of other religions and faiths. So we have a very vibrant community, and I welcome our viewers to come and attend one of the programs and see how empowered our women feel and how much they enjoy being part of this organization.
Thank you, Imam Farhan, and thank you, Imam Sobi. Thank you for watching us today. I hope that we have clarified some misconception about the rights of women in Islam. We look forward to see you in the next program with a different topic. Thank you very much.